terrible toes, your child is acting out, throwing lots of tantrums. If you are going through that or you are seeing it around you, then this is just the video for you. Hi, welcome to Kanika's Corner. I'm a counselor with a 2.5-year-old and a 3-month-old. And we are bang in the middle of a really difficult phase with my older one. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why tantrums are common at this age and what I am doing to deal with it. So usually around this 2-3 year age, that's when their expressive language, how they speak and communicate, is not as well developed as their understanding. They take in so much, they perceive so much, all of that is far more mature than how they can tell us what they want. So they look at a situation, they'll say this is what they will think of, but what they tell us is only 1/10 of how they have thought of. And that is the major reason for tantrums. Sometimes this tantrum phase has a trigger. In our case, that was definitely what happened because I had baby number 2 in November 2023, and a month after he was born, that's when Ducky's tantrums started. Though I give all my attention to Ducky when she's around and I have an extended family who helps take care of Bulbul, what started happening was she noticed that, hey, Amma's attention is going somewhere else also. There's a little being who is equally important to her now. And that was what triggered this whole phase for us. Our tantrums actually started off as one odd thing, maybe one day in a week. And then suddenly it became 2 to 3 tantrums per day. And that is the phase that we are in right now. Absolutely a small thing can trigger a tantrum. It can just end with that one thing, or for a half an hour period, anything that is happening in that time can become a tantrum. Small reasons, silly reasons, genuine reasons. And what tends to happen in a tantrum is because the child is crying, it becomes difficult to understand her. For example, she wanted to eat the puri of pani puri. We made it, we gave it to her whole, and then she broke it because she saw us breaking it to put in a filling, and then she cried because it was broken. She wanted a full thing, and every time she bit into it, it would break and she would want another full one. A very valid reason in her mind for a tantrum. Tantrums have no logic, okay? So as parents, we may think that, okay, last time this situation caused a tantrum, so let's do something the next time. And for all you know, the very same situation causes no tantrum at all. How do I deal with the tantrum? And I'm keeping my counseling background in mind and all that I know about developmental psychology. It has hugely helped this process. First reaction is, I better gather all my resources because you don't know whether a tantrum is going to be 5 minutes or half an hour and whether the tantrum is going to have a whole host of activities. Second reaction, and that is where my training comes in, is we look at the ABC of the situation, right? We look at the antecedent, their behavior, and the consequence. Let me give you an example. Now, when Ducky is rinsing her mouth out after a meal, okay, she'll take in a little water and spit it out. Antecedent is some of that water will go down her neck because she's still learning the art of spitting it out fully. The behavior is, and this doesn't happen all the time, right? This is why it's called a tantrum. One off time she will suddenly say, wonder, horrible, and all of that she will say that. And then suddenly want to pull her shirt out and want it out immediately and not want to do anything else. Consequence, full-fledged tantrum where she is crying, she is saying things, makes absolutely no sense to me, but she wants that shirt off. You pull that shirt off, you put something else on, she will still be unhappy because she will feel like, hey, now this is not wet, this is wet, or this is not the shirt of her choice. She still wants the shirt she was wearing because that's her favorite one. That is why it is called a tantrum. I usually end up tearing my hair apart during a tantrum, even with all of my training and patience. But I do remind myself very often that she is, after all, only a 2.5-year-old. She's still a baby. And more importantly, with the arrival of the second baby, she's testing my boundaries, She's checking, is my love towards her still the same? Is it still as unconditional? And I am having to prove this day in and day out with her. But that's one of the main reasons why the tantrums are largely happening with me and why they're happening at the drop of a hat. Having an extended family around is both a boon and a bane. Now in this, I really appreciate the fact that they take care of the younger one while I take care of Ducky during her tantrum phase. And they are also able to help out as the tantrum wanes and distract her somewhere else. Now, the other side of this is that we all have to be consistent and react to Ducky the same way all the time, right? For example, if she is asking for more of a piece of a sweet and all I want to give her is that one little bit, we don't distract her by giving her another kind of sweet, right? We can distract her by saying, okay, come, let's go do some painting, let's do all of that. But all of us in the family have to do that. Otherwise, what tends to happen is she knows, hey, if I go to that person, they will help me. And she goes off to them and tantrum is gone because she's just got something that she loves to, do otherwise. So the way I usually start the process is I can notice when a tantrum is starting, and then I will go down to her level, eye to eye, and then talk to her and say, is this what you're saying? I repeat what she's saying so that I understand what it is. If I have misunderstood, then either her crying increases or she will correct me and say, Ille, not this, something else. Okay. Now, how do we take it from there? Once we have established what the tantrum is about, and if I'm not okay with that activity, say like licking the railing, then I will say, no, not this, let's do something else. Most of the time she is agreeable. Now when she's in tantrum mode, that is when she will say, no, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else, I want to do something else. All of that something else is not understood by me because this is all said while she is loudly crying. So as a psychologist, I bring about all the patients that I have. I try and look through what she's trying to say and I try to verbalize exactly what she's saying, right? If she is saying, I want to lick the railing, I say, you want to lick the railing? She'll say yes. And then I have to say, sorry, you can't do that. It is not okay because you will get boils in your mouth or you will get hurt. It is not a good thing to do. Sometimes successful, explaining that to her. She is still young, so she may not understand all of that or understand the consequences of her actions. She just enjoys it. She knows she's irritating me. I am getting irritated, and that helps her move further along with it. A lot of the times, if I'm able to give her an alternate activity that is acceptable, so I will say, okay, come, let's lick the spoon instead. We'll wash the spoon and then lick it. She is willing to take onto it, right? And tantrum slowly comes down. We'll go to the sink, we'll wash the spoon, and then the tantrum can continue because this is not the spoon that she wanted. She wants some other spoon, and by then she's in so much of emotion that she cannot explain what the other spoon is. And that is why it is called a tantrum, because it makes no sense sometimes. And even though I offer her alternatives that work, she is not willing to take it on. And that is where patience, and reminding myself that this is a phase, it is going to get over. In the next half an hour, my smiling, bubbling baby is going to come back. That's all. I know I am strict with her because I believe that maintaining boundaries through all of this is important. But one of the things that has helped us through this period is that sometime during the day I'll sit down and one-on-one we'll do some fun activities together, Most importantly, parents. And this is something that we need to internalize into ourselves so that we do it every single time. Don't say you are bad, right? Or you are good. It is not the person as a whole who is good or bad. It is only that particular aspect of the child that is good or bad, right? So we turn around and say what you did is not good, okay? Or what you did was very nice. Talk about that. Also, practice makes perfect. We've had 3 months of tantrums for Ducky to become better at tantrum throwing, and for me also to realize how to react when a tantrum happens. So what I tend to do is at the end of the day, I reflect on how the tantrum was, what went through, how I behaved, what can I do better and what can I learn better for the next tantrum that happens. Can we avoid these chaotic episodes completely? I'm afraid not. This is something that all children and parents have to go through. But with the methods that I have used, I hope that it helps you sort of go through this period a little more sanely. There is a reason why it's called terrible twos, right? And we are all the parents who are going through the terrible twos. So let's keep each other company. Let's know that we are all in it together. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe.